A UN biodiversity conference is currently being hosted by China in the southwestern city of Kunming. The COP15 is themed Ecological Civilization, Building a Shared Future for All Life on Earth. It's the first global conference convened by the United Nations on ecological civilization. Its objective is to establish a post-2020 framework, with new agreed targets for 2050 and intermediate targets for 2030. As the world faces a worsening crisis of biodiversity loss, leaders attending the event have called for global awareness and more concrete actions to preserve biodiversity. During a speech at the COP15 on Tuesday, Chinese President Xi Jinping called on the international community to enhance cooperation, build a consensus, and pool their strength to build a community for all life on Earth. Xi added that green international cooperation needs to be stepped up, and the fruits of green development should be shared among all countries. We've spoken with some of the attendees here at the COP15 and experts from various countries, and here's what they have to say about international cooperation on biodiversity protection.
Biodiversity is a matter of global concern, and we need coordinated action amongst the nations of the world to protect the world's biodiversity. Every country has responsibility for the biodiversity within its borders, but there's lots of biodiversity between countries. There's a lot of migratory birds, migratory animals. We need to have international cooperation.
We have so many partnerships and so much cooperation with China now that this is a true inspiration. We collaborate on the reforestation of the world. We collaborate also on the new technologies that can play such a major role also in going net zero.
We are very privileged to work very closely with the authorities in the People's Republic of China. We are working very closely in many aspects, for instance, the regional flyway initiative for the migratory birds. We are also engaged in many projects to protect the ecosystems in China and protecting the wetlands.
Namibia is already cooperating with China in the field of protecting our rhino. Rhino in Namibia is endangered species, and China has been assisting us to protect our rhino species in Namibia so that the future of the rhino can be protected for future generations.
My expectations is that the world together would come up with ambitions that are commensurate to the challenges we face today. What I think could happen is that three areas will be quite relatively easily achieved. One is a consensus on protecting nature, biodiversity, with clear goals and targets. The second would be a consensus on putting people at the heart of the protection of nature in ways that nature benefits people. The third would be a consensus on putting the rights of communities and local people at the center of how benefits accrue. It is important to protect biodiversity because it is essentially the foundation of life.